sinners. Listen, that's not a bad thing to be accused of, really, if you're being a friend of sinners the way that Jesus was being a friend of sinners. That's not a bad accusation. If we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and we're tagged with that, we should wear it as a badge of honor. But Paul said he's telling him, I'm not saying you can't shut yourself off from the world, because he goes and says, otherwise, if you did that, you need to get out of the world. Get out of this world and get out of human society altogether, if that's the case. You go be a monk. Go live in a monastery and separate yourself from all the world. That's not what the Lord wants us to do. And Paul, he's being pretty plain with them. He said, you understand what I'm saying. I'm not telling you, people in the world, that you shut out and he said, I'm telling you that when there's brothers and sisters in the church, that's another story altogether. You don't hear much of excommunication nowadays. You don't hear much of it. How many churches you heard of lately that did any kind of excommunication where they had to actually eject somebody from the membership? Most churches are struggling just to get members in. But listen, we've had to do that here. Just some years ago, we had a situation. I talked to my bishop, told him what was going on. This person that had fallen out for over nothing, really, and you'd have to understand the entire history and background of this to really understand it. But they had fallen out and they had threatened. They had made threats. We had it on people's voicemails that they had threatened to burn the church down, making threats because they got bent out of shape with me primarily about something that really was ridiculous to start with. And listen, let me mention something else again while I'm thinking about it right here. I've told you before, and let me tell you again and just reiterate it. I ain't the Holy Ghost. Okay? I know as much as people think I should. I don't know all. I don't know every single thing that's going on in every individual's life at any given moment. I don't know that. Sometimes somebody needs to pick up the phone and call the pastor if he needs to be aware of something. If I'm not aware that a certain person in the hospital, just found out yesterday, as a matter of fact. We found out yesterday somebody that we know, they come to church here occasionally. They used to be a member here, but they still come occasionally. But very rare occasion, but they still come occasionally. But they've been in the hospital for 2 weeks. Or for 2 weeks ago went in the hospital, came home and went back in the hospital again. We just found out about it yesterday. Nothing, they're home again. Nothing was, I don't know why people assume that we should know, or we're supposed to know, or that maybe they assume somebody else will tell us. I don't know what it is. But I ain't the Holy Ghost. I can't know all. And this particular situation, I guess that's what this lady was thinking. I should know. I should have known. I'm the pastor. But I didn't know till after the fact. Anyway, she got all bent out of shape. She was threatening to burn the church down. I called my bishop. Told him what was going on. Now, I always listen. Anything major, I always consult with my bishop. Always. We have an apostolic form of government here at this local church, but that doesn't mean I'm a Lone Ranger preacher. I have people who are in authority over me, and I'm gonna go to them for advice when I feel like I need advice and some sort of input and some sort of guidance. And so I already knew the first part of what he told me. I already knew what he was going to say. He said, well, the first thing you need to do is call law enforcement. Well, I already knew that, and I was going to do that at the time I hung with him anyway. First thing you need to do is call law enforcement. Make them aware of the situation, tell them these threats have been made. He said, the second thing you need to do, he said, is she a member of the church? I said, yes, sir. He said, you need to excommunicate her. He said, because you can't have someone that's making those kinds of threats to continue to hold membership in your church. I said, okay, we'll take care of it. And so we did. And I'm trying to make a long story short, I got to move on.